Welcome students. In the previous class we had studied about the first three chemical properties of carbohydrates. Those were mainly the reduction, oxidation and ester formation. Now the fourth property we shall be discussing is about formation of oxazone. Now you can see on your screen it is written that this test is given by reducing sugars like glucose, fructose, lactose and maltose. So first of all, what are these reducing sugars? The reducing sugars means the sugars which are having a free carbonyl group. These are reducing sugars. In this test, phenylhydrazine is reduced to form phenylhydrazone by sugar solution. The phenylhydrazone, when heated with more amount of phenylhydrazine, it tends to form oxazone. Now this is the oxazone, the chemical compound which exhibits a particular type of yellow crystals in a particular shape. They have a particular shape, either they will be needle shaped or we can say puff shaped or sunflower shaped, depending upon the type of carbohydrate. In case of glucose, these are needle shaped, the crystals of glucosazone. These are needle shaped. So see here in the figure, the first carbon atom where the aldehyde group is present is usually converted into phenylhydrazone by addition of phenylhydrazine. Here phenylhydrazone is formed, and then further heating in presence of phenylhydrazine, it forms phenyloxazone, also known as glucosazone. Now the second phenylhydrazine reacts at second carbon. So now let us understand this in detail. Here you can see in the reaction, the first carbon atom and the second carbon atom are involved in the reaction only. Phenylhydrazine is attached at the first carbon, then at the second carbon, and also releases ammonia, aniline and water. Whereas fructose also forms a similar type of reaction in which the oxazone of corresponding monosaccharide fructose is formed. Now let us draw it once again so that you can easily understand the concept. So students, please draw the structure of glucose in your notebooks. We all know that glucose is having 6 carbons. So I am drawing a short structure. Here you can see. Now this is the structure of glucose. Now glucose in presence of phenylhydrazine. Now phenylhydrazine. What is the structure of phenylhydrazine? Here you can see phenylhydrazine is written as phenyl and then to nitrogen. So let us draw the structure of phenylhydrazine. It is somewhat like this: NH2 NH and then the phenyl group C6H5. This reacts at the first carbon here and will form phenylhydrazone. This will form phenylhydrazone. The phenylhydrazone is as follows. Students, you can also make this structure, which is a simple drawing of structure of glucose. Now, where the reaction occur? The reaction occur at the oxygen atom. See here, where the oxygen atom is present. The reaction is occurring here. So, what will be the change in the structure? The structure formed will be like this. Here will be attachment of one phenylhydrazine. Now, what will it form? This is glucose and this is glucose phenylhydrazone. Now, when we heat in excess of phenylhydrazine, this tends to form phenylosazone or glucosazone simply. Now, the structure is like this. You must draw first the open chain structure of glucose and then we shall be noting about the changes occurring in it. Students, practice these reactions. These are quite important. If you don't practice, you will lose marks in your examination. Keep practicing. These reactions will be just a piece of cake if you practice them daily. Now, see, this is the first phenylhydrazine attaching. Now, next phenylhydrazine shall be attaching at the second carbon. See here in your reaction, attachment site. So, it will be students, I had mistakenly added a hydrogen group here. It will not be present as carbon is having only valency of 4. Along with this, certain kinds of byproducts will be reduced and these are ammonia plus aniline and water. So, what is this? This is glucosazone. This is our final product. This is our final product. So, you all should revise these reactions as these are quite important. This is our final product. I hope the reaction is clear. Now, the next one is formation of furfural or dehydration. Monosaccharides when treated with concentrated sulfuric acid. See, monosaccharides when treated with concentrated sulfuric acids, they undergo dehydration with removal of 3 molecules of water. Hexose give hydroxymethyl furfural and pentoses gives furfural only. These furfural condense with phenolic compounds to give various colors. For example, the identification test for carbohydrates is known as Molish test, which is also termed as general test for carbohydrates. In this, under the presence of concentrated sulfuric acid and alpha naphthol, rapid furfural and rapid furfurals are formed, which are violet in color. And in case of Selivanov test, which is for the presence of keto groups, specifically for identification of fructose, a cherry red color compound is formed, which is also a furfural of fructose. Just see here, the monosaccharides when treated with concentrated acid such as sulfuric acid. This is the example for Molish test, which is the general test for carbohydrates. They tend to lose the molecules of water, and when these combine with or condense with phenolic compounds, they give various colors. Now in case of Mollish test, it is sulfuric acid and alpha naphthol. And what is in case of Selivanov test? It is concentrated HCl or hydrochloric acid and addition of resorcinol, another phenolic compound, resorcinol, it is another phenolic compound, and in their presence the cherry red color, they tend to form cherry red color. Whereas these products form violet color. Now here you can see the reaction that is occurring. The reaction described is as follows. You can easily see that in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, the 3 molecules of water are lost. From where we can see this and this one. These are lost and thus formation of hydroxymethyl furfural occurs. Formation of hydroxymethyl furfural furfurals are formed. Here you can see hydroxymethyl furfurals are formed. So now this was the case for glucose. The test is for Mollish test. So now these were the properties of monosaccharides. Now there are some important monosaccharides we should understand. What are these monosaccharides and their clinical importance or physiological importance? Number first, ribose. It is usually found in nucleic acids. This is a structural element of nucleic acids and coenzymes, for example ATP, NAD, NADP. Ribose phosphates are intermediates in pentose phosphate pathway. These are intermediates of pentose phosphate pathway. Ribulose sugar, it is formed in metabolic processes, intermediate in pentose phosphate pathway. Arabinose, gamma arabic, constituent of glycoproteins. Xylose, it is also a constituent of glycoproteins, and similarly the other pentose sugars. Now importance of hexose sugar, physical or physiological importance. Glucose, number 1, it is the important sugar of the body, the sugar carried by the blood and principal one used by the tissues. So sometimes it is also refers to as blood sugar. Clinical significance, present if present in urine, it is known as glycosuria or diabetes mellitus. Fructose can be changed to glucose in liver and so used in body. Hereditary fructose intolerance leads to fructose accumulation and hypoglycemia. Galactose can be changed to glucose in liver and metabolized, a constituent of glycolipids and glycoproteins. So similarly, mannose is also a constituent of many glycoproteins. So this was regarding the importance of hexose and pentose sugars. So students, in our next class we shall be understanding about the disaccharides. Till then you should revise regarding the properties of monosaccharides. You should practice their reactions as they are quite important. So keep practicing and keep learning.